And he was just a bunch of quick reading. And I was like, oh my God.
He always fucks.
Okay, everybody.
April 4th.
So we had left off, you know what I think I'm gonna do?
He gives me no directions at all. He's like, okay, so go into here. I'm like, okay, it's hard because how am I supposed to know that?
So what I want to start off with, everybody, I'm just gonna give you maybe one or two, just like we did yesterday. Make sure we know what we're talking about. And then we're going to branch out a little bit. So let's just try, I don't know. So let me give you some functions here. How about f of x is negative x squared plus 1. Let's have g of x be 2x. And I'll even give you an h of x. Let's have that be, how about x minus 1? Okay, so just to make positive that we know what we're talking about here, just try the following. So we're switching between the notations. Remember, they mean the same thing. You just need to be familiar with both. And let's do one more. How about let's put the oh, since it's such a foggy day outside, let's do a fog one. Even though it's not really fog, you say f of g of x. So just to refresh your memory, if you have forgotten the notation in number 1, the way this is written, you always start with the function that's closest to the x. So you're going to take that f function and you put it into the g function. That's what number 1 means. Take everything that the f function is, bring it over to the g function, and in place of the variable in the g function, you're going to put in our negative x squared plus 1. The notation in number 2, again, I'm always starting with the function that's closest to the x, and I'm going to work my way out. So you're going to take that g function and you're going to put it into the h. All right, who's got number 1? Jimmy, go ahead. I agree with you. So again, I'm going to take the f, which in this, I'm sorry, f. I'm going to take that f function. Guys, are you listening? Take that f function and I'm going to bring it over to the g. I replace that variable with whatever the f function was. So all of this is going to replace that x. So it now looks like this. 2 times, and then all of this, negative x squared plus 1. And then I'm just going to go ahead and evaluate that. So that's how Jimmy got negative 2x squared plus 2 for a correct answer. Okay, number 2 is the different way to write it. It's different notation, but you're doing the same stuff. Why is there 2 ways to do the same thing? I don't know. I didn't make the rules. I just abide by them. So we're going to take the g, and now we're going to put it into the h. So I'm going to pick up this 2x, and I'm going to replace that variable with all of this. So what do I get number 2? Sam, go ahead.
2x minus 5.
That's it. It's just 2x minus 5. And then the last one, I'm going to take the G and put it into the F. Ooh, I hope you did this one correctly. If you take this 2x and you bring it over here, you're going to replace that x with 2x. But you also have to stop and think about, okay, in this F function, doesn't this mean take whatever x is and square it, right? So when I replace this with a 2x, you have to square that entire 2x, right? That's what this means. So when I take this 2x and I pop it in over here, the correct way to write this would look like this. That negative is still there, but now since I'm squaring something that it's more than just one number or letter, right? It's 2 of them together. So I have to put it in parentheses. 2x squared plus 1. That is the correct way to write it. So then I hope that you evaluated it correctly. And what would I get as a final answer? Who's got this? Zach, go ahead. Yes. If you didn't put the parentheses there on paper, you wouldn't have squared the 2, right? Because if you don't have parentheses, you're only squaring the x, not the 2. So if you want to square both of them, you have to have parentheses. Okay, so the next part, instead of leaving a variable, we're actually going to plug in a number. And I personally think that these are easier, plug in a number, than just the whole function. So let me show you. Let's see. I'm just going to give you new ones. So let's try plugging in a number. In function composition. There's 2 ways to do it, an easy way and a harder way. I'm going to show you the easy way. So let's just start off with 2 functions, f of x, about 3x plus 7, and g of x could be, I don't know, 5x, who cares? They can be anything. So what I might ask you to do is something like this. F of g, but not of x, let's say of 2. So we know what this notation means. This means I'm going to compose the f and g functions with each other. I'm going to take the g and I'm going to put it into the f. But now I'm replacing the variable with the 2. So I basically want to know, all right, what is the value of the composed function at 2? We are used to saying, okay, well, what's the value of f at 2? Or what's the value of g at 2? But now I want to compose those 2 functions with each other. So that's this new operation that we've been talking about, taking one function, putting it into another. That's composing. And now I'm just going to evaluate that new function at, in this case, 2. But the easy way to do it, in my opinion, is to sort of just evaluate twice. So what I can do is I can just plug 2 into the g function. So again, I'm always starting with whoever's closest to this parenthesis. So if I take 2 and I plug it into the g function, I'm just going to get out some answer, right? It's just going to be a number. And then what I can do is take that answer and then plug it into the f. So I don't have to go through that step of taking the g function, plugging it into the f. You certainly can. That's the other way I mentioned. So if you want to take the time to take the g, put it into the f, just like we were, and then evaluate it at a number, that's fine. You're going to get the same answer. But in my experience, it's so much faster, right? Because if you plug 2 into g, don't you just get 10, right? And then it's really easy to just pop over here and plug in 10 to the f. You just got to make sure you're going in the right order, right? So always start with the one closest and then work your way up. Does that make sense? So I guess, let's see. So how do we write this? Because in our heads, I bet we all know that our final answer is 37. But if you're looking back on this in your notes, you're gonna be like, how in the world did I get 37? Let's say, I'll do this. 2 options. Method 1. Plug 2 into the G function. Then take that answer. And plug into F. Or method 2. And I'm a method 1 person, but if you like method 2, you do it. Take all of G and put it into F. Then evaluate at 2. Okay, and I'll show you me doing both methods so I can prove to you that you really do get the same thing. So method 1, I would do G of 2, and I find out that that's just 5 times 2 is 10. And then I take that answer, and I now do F of 10. And that gets me 3 times 10 plus 7, or 37 for my final answer. So F of G of 2 equals 37. I think that's easier personally, but that's just me. Or if you really like method 2, that's your business. You're going to take G and put it into F just like we have been. So you would find F of G of X first. So that would be 3 times 5x plus 7. Which is 15x plus 7. And now you evaluate it at 2. And we still end up with 37, but I don't know. So you do whatever you prefer. Does that make sense? So if you were to look at last night's homework, could you try number 11? Jimmy, you have an answer? What is it? You're right. Did you all get negative 18? Let's try one that has the other notation. Do any of them? Oh, wow. Okay. So I guess they're not doing the other notation with these ones. That's all right. There are some interesting ones though. Okay, why don't we try, can you do number 14 for me real quick? Oh, I'll do it for the video too, number 18, just so the video people can see. If you are watching this video, will you tell me in the comments where you're from? It'd be so interesting. Who watches these? I don't know. All right, so if I'm gonna do this one, I'm gonna take -9 and I'm gonna plug it into the f. So I'd find f of -9 first. So that'd be 2 times -9 minus 1, or -18 minus 1 is a -19. Now I take that answer and I'm gonna plug it into the g. So I'm gonna do g of -19. So that would be -19 plus 1, and that's how we land at -18 for a final answer. Okay, and then I asked you to do 14. Who's got 14? Zach, go ahead. It is 77. Did everybody get that? 77? So let me show you how. So again, I'm gonna do find h of 7 first.
Wait, which one did you want us to do?
14.
Oh, we're at. Can you do 16 though too?
Sure. Oh, I was gonna do that one next.
That one's good.
So let me do 14 here. So we're gonna find h of 7. So that's 4 times 7 minus 3. So that's 28 minus 3 is 25. Now, that's not my final answer though. I now need to find g of that number, 25. So 3 times 25 plus the 2. And 77 is my final answer. Okay, so that means this is 77. Okay, try 16. The answer, you can see it there, it's -27. Can you figure out where, how, what does this even mean? Try it. Do what you think you should do, and then we'll talk about it. Did you get it?
If x is 0, would it just be 3?
So G of 0 would be 3. Yeah,
So then how do you finish it?
great question. Jimmy, what is it?
6x squared plus 4.
Not quite, but I appreciate the effort. Sam?
So first you plug in g of 0, and when you plug that in, you get g of 0 equals 3, and then you plug in the 3 for the x.
This is a unique situation because we're composing a function with itself. You can do that. I can take the g function and I can put it back into itself. I can do it with any function. You can compose f with f, h with h, doesn't matter. It just so happens that we want to evaluate at 0, but that could have been any number. Okay, so let's take a look at what this is. I'm going to operate the same way, right? First, I want to start by finding g of 0. So let's start there. This one does have 2 x's. So in both of those spots, I'm going to place a 0. So I'll write it out, but I know what you know in your head. -3 times 0 squared, that whole chunk is just going to be gone, plus 3 minus 0. So when I evaluate g of 0, I just get out a 3, correct? So now, just like in number 14 and all the other ones that we've done, once I got that first answer, now I want to take that answer and I put it in. I found this function at that number. So I'm doing the same thing. It just so happens that it's the same function again. So I now want to find g of 3. So I'm taking that answer and I'm going to plug it into this one. So when I plug that in, let's see, -3 times 3 squared plus 3 minus 3. There was 2 x's, so they both get replaced with 3. So my plus 3 minus 3 just cancel out. So what's that? 3 squared is 9 times a -3. I get that -27. So g of 3 is -27. Oh, isn't that one fun? Oh, I don't see another one on here that has you doing that. So let me make one up. I know 22 does, but that's a little bit different. I don't want to do that yet. So let me make another one up for you to try, where we're composing a function with itself. How about if f of x were, let's just make it like 2x plus 5. try and find f of 3. Try that. You have an answer?
Yeah.
Hold on to it for 1 second. You are fast. I don't even know what the answer is. Let me see. Okay, got my answer. Everybody has their answer? All right, Zach, what do you say? I believe I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, so again, I'm going to start off by doing really just f of 3 first. So f of 3 would be 2 times 3 plus 5. And that is 6 plus 5 is 11. Now I take that answer and I do this function, which happens to be f again, f of 11. So that'd be 2 times 11 plus 5, 22 and 5, yep, 27. So f of 3 is in fact 27. Is that so bad?
That one is good.
Okay. Now it does get a little bit weirder when we shift away from it just being a number to it being some kind of an expression. So let's start off with an easy one, like I actually think 22 isn't bad. Oh wait, yes it is because it's an H page. Let's actually jump to 26. 26. So let's work through this one together. The process is the same though. I'm trying to find, I know you see the answer there, but pretend you can't see it. I'm trying to find g of f of 3x, right? So I'm going to take 3x and I'm going to pop it into the f. Whatever answer I get when I do that, I'm then going to take that and put it into the g. All right, so we'll start by finding f of 3x. Oops, I already messed up. Good thing my pens are erasable. It's like magic. And these are not the erasable pens of my day. Like when I had erasable pens in school, like they didn't really erase. These are heat. This is all based off of heat. Isn't that neat? So it's not even really an eraser there. It's just like a thing, and then the friction creates the heat, and the heat erases it. It's wild. I know. Right? Okay, so anywhoosers, we're doing 2 times 3x minus 3. So that's going to get me 6x minus 3. Everybody agree? For just that one piece? Now take that answer and I put it into this one, which is a g this time. So now I want to do g of 6x minus 3. Okay, so going to the g, I'm going to do 4 times 6x minus 3 plus 4. Does that make sense? Do you see where I got all this from? Okay, and now I just have to evaluate that. So that's going to be 24x minus 12 plus 4. So my final answer, 24x minus 8. And oh, how nice. It matches our answer key. Yes. That's always a relief when that happens. And that is my g of f of 3x. How are we feeling? How about you try, oh, let's do another one that's not so bad. Try 24. When you are finished, you can look up at my screen and see if your answer matches the answer key, but don't look until you tried it on your own. Do any of you feel like you're going to do the other method? I've just been kind of focusing on method one. I've been doing this a long time and I just find it's so much easier. The only time I could see not doing it that way is if you had to do a whole bunch of them. If you were trying to evaluate like f of g at like 10 different things, right? So instead of doing it every time, you could just compose f with g. You have the compose function and then you're just plugging in the new value you need every time. I could see doing it that way if that were the case, but if I'm just doing one-offs, then I wouldn't bother. But that's just me, you do you. All right, did your answer match the answer key here? Can you see it? You can see it, right? Okay, good. All right, so everybody's did? Okay, all right, so where should I start? Can someone tell me that? What's the very first step that I do? Jack, go ahead. Right, I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna do h of negative 3x. So that will be my first step. H of negative 3x. So remember how I do that? I have to come to the h, and there's two x's. So we talked about this yesterday. If there's more than one x, they're both gonna get replaced with negative 3x. So this first one is gonna be negative 3x, and I'm squaring that whole thing, right? Minus 3 times, and I replace that x with what's in the parentheses, negative 3x. Is that okay so far? Now we have to evaluate this correctly. So let's see. What is this chunk? Negative 3x in parentheses squared. What does that come out to be? Say it. Oh, I heard it. Say it louder. 9x squared is correct. Right? Because you got to square everything that's in there. So negative 3 times negative 3 really is positive 9. X times x squared. Okay, over here I've got negative 3 times negative 3 is going to be a positive 9x. Is that part okay? All right, what is the next step? Where do I go from here? Zach, go ahead. Yes, I'm going to take this answer and I want to plug it into whatever this function is. In this case, it's g. So I essentially now want to find g of this whole thing, 9x squared plus 9x. Okay, so let's take all of this, pop it into the g. Luckily, the g function's not so bad. So 4 times, instead of writing the x, I replace it with everything that's in here, 9x squared plus 9x. And now all I have to do is evaluate that, and that will be my final answer. So that's 36x squared plus 36x, and that is this. And I am finished. And it matches the answer key, so I'm feeling pretty good. How do you feel? Do you want to try one more together, or oh wait, we gotta do one where it's a like a binomial. How about 25? So again, there's 25. Try it and see when you're done trying it. Look up at my screen and see if your answer matches the key. Did it match? Oh, yay. I'm so happy. All right, I'll do it together. So step one is to, someone tell me again, what's the very first thing you do? You guys got it right. Tell me what to do first. Brady, go ahead.
You like to put the N+4 in the G.
Exactly. So I'm always going to start with whoever is closest. So I'm going to do N+4 into G. Okay, so I take that G and I'm going to replace the variable with what's in the parentheses, N+4. Okay, so that first answer is going to be a 2n plus 8 plus 4. So I really get a 2n plus 12. Now, what do I do? Ready, go ahead.
You plug that into that.
Exactly. I'm going to take that answer and I plug it into the outermost function, in this case, f. So I want to find f of 2n plus 12. And that's just going to be 3 times 2n plus 12, which means my final answer is 6n plus 36, which is the correct answer. Yes. Woo! Not so bad. Okay, I'm definitely not going to get to the other stuff that I wanted to get to today. So I don't know why I talked to you so much about this quiz, because who even knows where it's going to be. So I guess let's stop. Oh, gosh, we do have a lot of time left, though. I guess what we could do, why don't we get the homework done, and then maybe we can go over it before we leave. So then tomorrow we won't have to go over it. We'll already have done it. I don't know, we'll try. Okay, so all I want you to do is to finish the problems on the back. So whatever problems we didn't do, just finish those ones, okay? That's probably the best thing. Yeah. By the way, I was looking at I have to like look up everybody's old grade, and it shows like your picture. I didn't know you had so much hair. It's so much of your picture. I was like, oh, I recognized you at first. Yeah. It's gonna be whatever you're trying to find. So it's that. Yeah. Well, you can't use the binomials. You want to do n+6 and n+6. Yeah. And you know how to do that?
Number.
No, it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh. It's okay.
I didn't look at all these ones I didn't do.
We didn't do a lot of them. Right?
Oh,
I just been copying down like the myself. So that's not a sheet.
you silly goose. I'll just give you another. Do you have a notebook?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Like a 3-ring binder?
Well, I used to keep all my stuff like, but it's not in there.
We're gonna fill that up fast. Look at that. There's a bunch of. You have some of those. Oh, sure. Your question too?
Oh, I can. Okay. Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It can't, yeah, if it's negative, you have to have parentheses.
I'll have a change.
I'll be right with you.
so close to my.
Oh, yeah. 4 times the price again. Perfect. This one, right? 21. Looks like you're close. You just have 7.
Oh, 4 times 3. 52. This is January. Plus the COLA is 18. Oh, plus 6. 19. Okay. That's 6.
How are we doing? Anybody stop? I've got the key here, so you just want to see if one is right. That's your answer? You are close. So you're a little bit off, and I bet you, oh, it's right there. N plus 3 squared is not n plus 9. You gotta FOIL that. It's n plus 3 times n plus 2. We get n squared plus 6n plus 9. Okay, try that again.
How many questions?
Yeah. Oh. I'm going to post this as notes as just maybe 1-5 continue. All right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Can I see you? I'll take it.
you sure can. I'm gonna control it, to scan it in. There you are.
Thank you.
No, but we have 6.3.
I know, but that's the last
Miss
step.
Andrew,
Yes.
are we ever gonna read your,
So we didn't do that.
You know about my book?
Yeah, we read it. I read it. I
You have
actually-
a
I was
book?
there.
Oh, well, now that you bring it up.
Is it a math book or like a?
No, I wrote a book about grandmas.
Is it like a? Oh, whoa.
It's a good book. I'm super proud of it. That's my work.
That's so, that's your artwork.
Well, I took photos and I like mess around with them like digitally. So I didn't, my gosh, if I could create that like by hand. So it's like a picture of her at my wedding and then I like did the stuff around it.
Wait,
Oh my gosh.
wait, so that's your Gina?
Yes, I called her Rapchi. She passed away unfortunately in 2016.
Bob Shingles?
Yes, and I cry all the time and I love her so much. But I wrote this book. Do you want me to
Yeah.
read it to you? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. If you don't want to listen, just tune me out. But I hope, can we see it on here? Let me zoom out. Oh my gosh,
Aw.
right? Oh my gosh. Okay. Dedicated to my Bocce, the very, oh, I didn't even read you the title. Grandmas are the very best. By me, by Pacific. Dedicated to my Bocce, the very best. So each of these pictures it's a real picture of a grandma. And then I just like photoed them. So this is my son with his grandmother, my husband's mom. Grandmas are the very best, but not all are named like the rest. Some grandmas are called Mimi instead, but they still love to tuck you in bed. That's my mom and my son. Others are well known as Grandy. Grandy. Others are well known as Granny. They will always give you candy. It's my husband's grandma. And is that not grandma candy? Doesn't every grandma have like those strawberry things in their pocket, right? So fun. In some families, abuelas can be found. They give the best hugs around. That's my son. And do you guys, well, this is Mrs. Saramet, the school nurse. That's her grandma. They run a daycare.
Barbara and KK?
Yes, did you go
Oh,
there?
Yeah, they're my like family.
Oh.
They're basically my second parents.
That's
Sure.
Barbara. So if you know Barbara and KK's daycare right there, he went there. So that's that. Nana is the name that some people use. The greatest games are what they choose. That's my Babchi and my sister when she was a baby. Another name some like is Meme. They just love to sing and play. This is Mrs. Dalton. I don't know if you know her, but her husband's grandmother who had just passed away when I wrote this. So I feel like she looks like an angel and that's her two kids. I know. Babchi, well, it's really Babcha, I think, but we always said it wrong. Babcha is another favorite. You can play dress up with her bracelet. That was my Babchi when she got engaged. Some grandmas go by simply Graham. They will cuddle you up like a lamb. My husband's grandmother. And my son when he was a baby. Mima is a fun name to say, and they just love to have fun all day. My Babchi. There's a lot of her. I have a lot of pictures of her. Yaya is a good one too. They are the best at peekaboo. Yaya is Greek, and that's my Greek friend's mom. Still, some go by Bestamore. They'll always have an open door. That's Norwegian, and that's my Norwegian grandma. And even if your Nana is no longer here to hug, just know she is your guardian angel from up above. That's Mrs. Swanson as a child and her mom. Whatever you call her, it all means the same. Grandmas are the very best, no matter their name. That's me, and my babci. Oh my God, isn't it so cute? I'm so proud of it. You can buy it on Amazon. Yes, you can. Do you have a baby shower coming up? Is someone about to have a baby? I don't know.
That is so cute.
Isn't it?
It's Publix, right?
It is. You can literally go
Do you
on.
make money?
Yeah. I mean, who buys it? The people that I know, right? So I do make money. Like if you buy it on Amazon, I get a portion of it, not much. But you can also buy it directly from me. I have some in my closet. They're only $10. So you can buy the hardcover for $10, or it is also available on Kindle for I think only $2.99. But if you have Kindle Unlimited, you don't have to pay for them, right? Don't you just get it for free? Do any of you have Kindle Unlimited? Okay, well, if you go to Amazon, and I think you have to, if you just search Erica Sabia, that's my full name. Yes, look. Look, here I am. So I don't know why SAT stuff comes up first, but the second one, that's me right there, paperback. Look, it's got 5 stars, only 6 reviews, but still, you can literally buy my book on Amazon or on Kindle.
Where does it like come from though?
They print it.
You know? That's cool.
So it's not as fancy as you think because anybody can publish. You missed my whole book. I have a book and you missed the entire reading. I should read it again. Just read it. I don't know. But you can buy what I would love. Fast forward, if at some point in your life you decide to be a parent, if that's something that's in the future for you, what I have always hoped is that someone tells their mother that she's going to be a grandmother for the first time using my book. Wouldn't that be cute if they like gave it to her? She's like, why'd you give me this book? And like, oh, like I told her, yes.
Wait, like, what's it about?
Ah, it's all different names that you can call grandmas.
You're gonna make a grandpa.
I've been meaning to. So here's, you know what's funny? When I get super stressed, I need to like have some sort of a project to like take my mind off of all the craziness. So when did I write this? When COVID hit. So I'm like, I can't handle any of this. So I wrote this instead. I write poems a lot. Do you want to hear my Christmas card? This is my Christmas card. And I write a poem every year. Let me tell you the front. So that's my son. Gosh, he's so cute. That's him with, I know you can't see it, but we went, there was fireworks, him, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me read it to you. The merriest Christmas we are hoping for you, whether you've been good all year or slipped up with you. We've been very busy here trying to behave, but sometimes breaking rules are how memories are made. It's hard to believe Miller is nearly 5 already. Miller's my son. Could time slow down, please, or at least keep steady? We are trying to make the most of the end of 2021, but are also looking forward to a new year of fun. 10 years of marriage, we will celebrate this July. I'm lucky every day to be married to such a guy. Oh, Miller will start kindergarten in the fall. Don't mind me, I'm just starting to bawl. Anyway, I'd like to wish a magical holiday for your family and you. And here's to a healthy and happy 2022. How do I convert this into money? I can write poems like easier than I can write like normal words. But children's books, there's just not money in it. I'm like, maybe I should write greeting cards. Is there money in that? I don't know.
They just print like 500. Maybe, yeah.
No one's gonna buy them though. I can't compete with Hallmark. And then to make money on a greeting card, you gotta sell it for so much. And I'm anti spending a lot of money. Can I give you a hot tip on greeting cards? Okay, so if you give someone a card for their birthday or whatever, don't write in it. Take a Post-it note. Write on the Post-it note, and then when you give them that card, it's like a bonus gift. Because now they can just they can keep your words, because that's the thing that means something, right? So they can keep the words that you write, and now you've given them. Now they don't have to turn around and buy a birthday card for the next person. Genius, you're welcome. It only really works though when I want it to become a revolution so that people, because nobody gives me cards with Post-it notes in them. My in-laws do, but nobody else does. I'm like, why? Okay, I'm giving you all this gift. Could someone start giving me them? Like
What
for
if
my
you get a
birthday.
card and you forget it's from them and you're gonna give it back?
So what? I don't care. That doesn't matter, because it's what you write in it that matters, right? I don't really care what the printed words say. I mean, sometimes they are spot on, but usually it's like, hope your birthday is as great as you are. And that's fine, right? That's lovely, but if you add a little personal touch, or even if you don't, why spend $5.99 on a card that you're just gonna write Love Susie on? Write Love Susie on the Post-it and let the person have the card. That's all I'm saying. And don't write on the envelope either. I put a Post-it note on the envelope too, if I'm gonna write a name on it at all. Just saying. Any hoosers. Did everybody finish? Okay, good. Oh, you guys are good at getting sidetracked. But anyway, let me just read off the answers to you and I will happily go over any of the ones that you want me to. We do have about 7 minutes, so. Number one, I mean, not number one, should be 13. 13, your answer is 4. 14 we did, 15 is 165. We did 16, 17 is -1. 18 is -10. 19 is 25. 20 is 117. 21, this was, I'm gonna do this one out, but the correct answer is 4n squared plus 32n plus 73.
Yeah, I got that
I
one.
was so close.
I got
I'll
8.
do that one out. 22 is 48a plus 15. And 23 is 6t minus 14. 17?
Yeah, I think I
Sure.
just made an error.
Let me do 21 first, and then I'll jump back to 17.
Wait, what was 23?
23 was 16 minus 14. All right, 21, this was the one I had the most questions about. So we're gonna take n plus 3 and put it into the g. And I bet you anything, the mistake you probably made was probably right here. I don't know how to stress this to you guys, but n plus 3 squared is not n squared plus 9. It's not. I promise you it's not. Why? Because you have a binomial times a binomial. This is n plus 3 times n plus 3. You have to FOIL that out. You get n squared plus 3n plus another 3n, so you get plus 6n plus 9. That's what you get when you square n plus 3. So if you are missing the plus 6n, there's your mistake right there, okay? The rest of it, plus 4, plus 2n plus 6. Okay, so now when I combine like terms, n squared plus 8n, is that plus 19? Yeah, all right, so there's me doing g of n plus 3. I've got it. Now I need to take this whole thing and I got to put it into the h. So now I got to do h of all of that. N squared plus 8n plus 19. And luckily h isn't so bad. It's just 4 times all of that. Minus 3. Okay, so let's distribute that 4 all the way through. You know what I just realized? I don't think I stopped the video, did I? The whole, my whole reading. Yeah. We'll see if anybody ever watches it. Okay, what's 4 times 19 is? 76? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then plus 73. So there it is. So if you didn't get that one wrong, check that squaring the n plus 3 first. That's probably the most common mistake. All right.
Out of everything to get wrong, I multiplied 19.
Uh,
Yeah, I got 1.
and then Sam, you wanted 19?
No, I wrote down the problem you did on my paper. Like there was one you did off of the paper. It was like the alphabet, and I just read it. I read that. It's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
Matt, what's up?
Do you remember 23?
23 was 16 minus 14.
No, 23.
Oh, 22 was 48A plus 15.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that one?
Oh, yeah, 'cause I got 48A squared.
Okay, so 22. Oh, that's an H of H.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off by doing H of 3A to start. No, I'll just do it right on the side. So H of 3A would be 4 times 3A plus 3. So that's gonna get me 12A plus 3. So now I need to take 12A plus 3 and I'm gonna plug it back into the H.
This block is extended. Remember?
They canceled it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
They canceled it?
Yeah, because they didn't need it yesterday. So then they were like, oh, never mind, tomorrow will be normal. So now let's take this and pop it back in. So I'd have 4 times 12A plus 3 plus 3.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So 48A plus 12 plus another 3, and that's the 50.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a spot for two pairs?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna make you guys turn it in. I'm just gonna give everybody full credit.
Oh, thanks.
Brady, you had a question.
Yeah. For number 23, I got 16 minus 3. Not 14. Yeah, I think I got it.
All right, so let's take T minus 2 and put it into G.
Oh, wait, it is 16. Oh, I thought you said 16.
So that would be 3 times T minus 2 minus 3. So that's 3T minus 6 minus 3, or 3T minus 9.
Yeah. Oh, I sent that out. That's right.
Hi. Good, how are you? Any other questions? Yes, Jimmy. All right, we were extended block, but they canceled it. Yeah.
Function notation.
Mhm.
So you're foggy?
Yes. What a perfect day, right?
Exactly.
They got me off topic by making me read my book.
Oh.
But how could I not?
And it was on straight.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to shut off my recording. So there is now a recording, a live reading.
There you go.
Okay.
Is that not sound like her though? Like, it's something.
I just think you could introduce just ahead of the NHS.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah, it's like, it's just a mess. Like, there's no way chick does fit in the NHS.
She like, I feel like